Hey family, Fit Mama Wit here, and welcome back to my channel. We are on day 7 of FitMas with Fit Mama Wit, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about counting calories. How do you figure out your calories? How do you figure out your macros? What are macros? And overall, just how to lose weight with healthy eating. So I'm going to show you some online tools that are free resources that you can calculate your calories, calculate your macros, and then give you a little bit of insight on how you can use this information to help you lose weight. So let's dive right in. So to lose weight, your body needs to be in a calorie deficit. There's no magic tea, there's no magic foods, no amount of apple cider vinegar is going to help you lose weight until your body's in a calorie deficit. Calorie deficit is essentially making sure your output is greater than your input, making sure you're burning more calories than what you're consuming. So we need to figure out how many calories does your body need just to maintain weight. Once we can configure that and know how much we need just to maintain weight, then we can look at decreasing that intake at about 500 calories so that you could lose a healthy amount of weight consistently. All right, so to figure out our calories, we are going to go to type in calorie calculator. We're going to click on this top one, www.calculator.net. And we are going to enter in our information under the US units. So I am 26. I am a female. I am 5'8". Y'all just getting all my business today. I'm about 148. And this part, the activity, is very important. So if we take a look down here at this little key, exercise is defined as 15 to 30 minutes of elevated heart rate activity. Intense exercise is defined as 45 to 120 minutes of elevated heart rate activity. And then very intense exercise is 2 or more hours of elevated heart rate activity. So when I do the drop down box here, I'm going to look to see which one best suits me. And I'm going to go with active daily exercise or intense exercise of 3 to 4 times a week, which is roughly my workout schedule currently. So I am going to calculate. All right, so this is what I am supposed to be eating in a day just to maintain my current 148 weight status based on my current activity level in the gym. So I should be eating 2,263 calories per day just to maintain weight. If I want to lose weight, I should be eating 1,763 calories a day, which would equal out to about 1 pound per week. If you're someone that's looking to gain weight, you can click here, show info, and it will tell you how many calories you should eat per day to gain weight. These are for people that have trouble gaining weight, want to put on some more muscle, things like that. But I think most of us here today are looking to lose weight, so we are going to focus up here at the top. So now that we have this information in mind, we can look at calculating our macros and getting a better idea of how many carbs, how many protein, how much fat should we be consuming in a day. So let's talk about that. Now that we know our daily calorie intake, we can use this number to figure out how much of that needs to be broken down into proteins, carbs, and fats. These 3 nutrients together collectively are known as macronutrients. They're nutrients that our body uses the most and we are heavily relied on for fuel and energy. Okay, so let's start with protein. We're all pretty familiar with that one. Protein contains amino acids that are the building blocks for tissue repair and growth. So essentially, protein is necessary to build muscle and to really transform our body. So we got to make sure that we're definitely hitting our protein goal every day if we want to see muscle growth. Next up is carbs, everybody's favorite, the one they love to hate. But carbs are good for you guys. You gotta eat your carbs. You gotta eat protein, carbs, and fats, but you really need to eat your carbs because carbs help fuel your workouts. They give you energy.
If you're not eating your carb intake, you're not going to be properly fueled for your workout. You're not going to have the strength or the energy to push that barbell or to hit that squat PR. So it's very important that we're eating our carbs. Also, carbs help in replenishing glycogen storage, which is necessary for your muscles to recover. So if your muscles aren't properly recovering, you're not going to be ready for that next workout. So eat your carbs. And last but certainly not least are our healthy fats. Fats are essential to cell growth and function, but they also act as a secondary storage for energy. So you get your main source of energy from carbs and a secondary energy from fats. So we want to say yes to unsaturated fats and no to saturated fats. Saturated fats include trans fat. Ooh, stay away from those. So now that we know a little bit more about macros, we need to understand what is our body type. So how does our body respond to food? There are 3 types of body type. The first one is an ectomorph. An ectomorph is someone that's genetically just small and has trouble gaining weight. They may have a high tolerance for carbs. They have a fast metabolism. If that is you, then your macro breakdown is going to be 50% carbs, 30% protein, and 20% fats. The next body type is a mesomorph. A mesomorph is someone who's just generally muscular, athletic type build. They're not usually overweight or underweight, and they probably gain fat or muscle pretty quickly. I identify as a mesomorph, so my macro breakdown is 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fats. The third body type is an endomorph. An endomorph is someone who is naturally thick or broad. They gain weight easily, usually have trouble losing weight, and they have a less tolerance for carbs. So if you're someone that's an endomorph, your macro ratio is going to be 25% carbs, 40% protein, and 35% fats. All right, so now we're gonna take all that information and put it all together and make it make sense. So we know our daily intake number based on the calculations we made earlier. We know what macronutrients are now, and we know what our body type is, so we know what ratio we need to look at when calculating our macros. So we're gonna use another free online tool to calculate those macros.
Now we're gonna calculate our macros. So we are gonna take the amount of calories we need to lose weight, copy that, and go over to our macro calculator. I'll put the link to this in the description box, but it is teamketo.com/pages/keto-calculator. So we are going to come down here to US macronutrient calculator. We're going to paste in our daily calories, and then we're going to adjust our ratios based on our body type. So if you remember, I'm a mesomorph, and which means I need my ratios to be 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fat. So here it calculates the amount of grams of carbs, proteins, and fats I need to stay within this ratio because of my body type. So out of this amount of calories, we need to make sure that of those calories, 176 grams of carbs are included in that. 132 grams of protein are included in that, and 59 grams of fat are included in that.
So now you have all this information. You're probably wondering, so how do I use it? How do I figure out, how do I put this into what I'm eating today? So about a month or 2 ago, I really dove into this, trying to figure out how do I gain muscle. I was really trying to gain muscle in my legs, but it didn't seem like anything I was doing was working. So I had to look at what I was eating. And I was overwhelmed at first, but what I learned and what worked for me was taking a step back and just trying to figure out how much do I eat in a day normally, without figuring out calories, without figuring out how much protein, all of that. I just strictly wanted to track what am I eating today without any changes. That helped a ton because what I found was I wasn't eating horribly bad and I wasn't necessarily undercutting my calories by a long shot. I just simply wasn't getting enough protein in. I wasn't eating enough carbs, strangely enough. But you don't realize that until you start to track. And tracking is not something that you need to do 365 days of the year, right? You might want to track only a few months or in preparation for an event or a trip. I don't think it's something that's sustainable long-term, just because it can get exhausting and you don't always want to upload and figure out and calculate how much you're eating every day. It can be very stressful, but it can also be a great tool if you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to gain muscle. The resources are there for you to utilize. So one of the apps that really helped me track my food was MyFitnessPal. I downloaded it from the Apple Store. It was really useful because I could simply just scan the barcode of anything I was eating and it would pop up with the amount of calories it had, the protein, the carbs, that whole breakdown. And then it gives you a breakdown over how much you've eaten that day, how much more carbs you need to eat, how much more protein you need to eat. It lays it out by breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It was just a really great tool to utilize. I still use it every now and then just to figure out if I'm eating like a new meal and I want to figure out what the calorie breakdown is. I'll scan it and figure it out just so I know mentally going forward. Because I tracked my food for about 3 months, I roughly know what I eat in a day now, and I'm a creature of habit, so I eat a lot of the same foods every day. So I have an idea of how much I eat every day. I have an idea of what all of my meals contain. But if it's something new, of course, I want to see what it is just so I know and I have that knowledge going forward. So definitely recommend that you take all this information and get a useful app like MyFitnessPal to track your food and make it easier on yourself. That was a lot of information, y'all. I'm sorry if I bored you, but I felt like some people just don't know where to start when it comes to eating and healthy eating, and how do I even look at breaking down my calories. So wanted to take you through that step-by-step process. This is what I use to figure out my calories, my macros, and figure out what I was eating. I think it definitely can make a difference. You're not gonna see change in 2 weeks, but stick with it. 8 to 10 to 12 weeks, you should definitely start seeing a change. So yeah, give it a shot if you think this is something that you want to dive into. Remember, you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. There's no magic teas, I don't even want to get into all the fads there are out there, but calorie deficit is the only way you can lose weight. So there's my little healthy eating knowledge for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me on FitMas Day 7. I'll be back with Day 8 in a couple of days. But yeah, I hope you like this video. Drop some suggestions in the comment box below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, turn your post notifications on. Also follow me on Instagram at fitmama_wit for weekly, daily workouts, all of that, and motivation, inspiration, whatever you need me to be, okay? All right, see you guys next time. Peace.